picture of the opening of the 11th and greatest Olympic Games of modern times is one that will live forever in the memories of those who had the privilege of witnessing them. Crowds were massed in the Berlin streets long before the scheduled opening of the ceremonies. From the Lustgarten to the entrance of the stadium, the streets were one long stream of color. Green flagpoles bearing a scarlet banner with a swastika in the center were spaced every 50 feet. And at the entrance were the massed flags of 52 nations participating in the games. Through these flag-bedecked streets rides Adolf Hitler, host to the worldwide gathering of sport enthusiasts to open the 1936 Olympiad. The giant Hindenburg points the way to the arena. A runner with a flaming torch, which was lighted in Athens, birthplace of the Olympic Games, arrives at the Lustgarten to be saluted. From the archway of the Marathon Gate enters the athletes of 52 nations, led by the Greeks, as is their right for having originated the Games. A champion of the 96 Olympiad walks in the costume of ancient Greece. The others follow in alphabetical order, with the French receiving the biggest applause. Great Britain receives a great ovation as they pass the dais. The Italians also received a rousing reception as they passed in review. Then came the boys and girls of the USA, 400 strong, second only to Germany in numbers. They received a cordial, if not overwhelming, welcome when their massive columns appeared. But just as their head arrived at the dais, the German contingent came into sight at the Marathon Gate. Immediately, the band stopped the march it was playing and broke into Deutschland über alles. The audience, rising promptly, froze into silent attention, so that the Americans marched not to applause, but to the German national anthem. The athletes are massed on the field, their flags dipped, as Blue Jackets standing beside the great flagpole in the arena slowly raise the International Olympic flag. The most picturesque of all was the releasing from several hundred concealed cages of 3,000 pigeons. In a great cloud, they circled the arena and then flew away. At the steps at the far end of the arena appeared a white-clad figure bearing aloft a flaming torch. It was the last runner of the relay of 3,000 youths from 7 nations who, through daylight and dark, through storm and sunshine, carried the Olympic flame, first lit at the Temple of Zeus, Athens, and carried across Europe to Berlin. Running up a great stairway to a platform near the top, where stood a small black altar. Touching the flame to the top, a mighty flame sprang forth, and officially opening the 1936 Olympics. 120,000 people in the crowded stadium watched American athletes write a new chapter in the history of sports as the boys and girls of the United States track and field team carried Old Glory time and again to victory, crowning new immortals in the sport world. Germany's heart was filled with joy when one of her daughters, Miss Hilda Fleischer, affectionately called Tilly, won the javelin throw and incidentally broke the world's record. Then America took her first gold medal when Cornelius Johnson from California won the high jump, shattering the Olympic record. Jesse Owens, the Buckeye Bullet, stepped into his dust and roll as he streaked down the red cinder path in the 100-meter dash to win in the phenomenal time of 10 2/5 seconds, breaking all existing world records. And he repeats in the 200-meter, this fastest human being in the world, when he flashes down the track for a new world record and his 3rd Olympic crown. Here is a slow-motion camera study of the discus throw. The final was won by Kenneth Carpenter of Compton, California. Forest Towns captured the high hurdles for the USA. He started slow, trailing the others, but when that Georgia timber topper started to run, he seemed to float through space, barely skimming the sticks. And when he put on the steam at the finish, he won America's 9th gold medal. Germany's big moment came when Gerhard Struck broke the Finnish monopoly on the javelin throw by defeating Matti Järvinen of Finland, the defending champion. In a race packed with thrills, Jack Lovelock of New Zealand won the 1,500-meter race, breaking the world record for this classic. He ran a perfect race and never seemed to exert himself. In the last lap, as the crowd sat spellbound, he exploded a terrific sprint to win by 6 yards from Glenn Cunningham of America. The pole vault was a toss-up between America and Japan, with Earl Meadows, USA, finally winning. 2 Japanese were tied for second place. Gloom descended on Germany when a member of the German women's 400-meter relay race, Pride of the Fatherland, dropped the baton. The jubilant crowd, sure of another gold medal, saw victory turned into tragedy and defeat. The girls proved they were genuine women by bursting into tears on the field. Helen Stevens was the key member of the winning American team. Glenn Morris, flanked by Bob Clark and Jack Parker, made a clean sweep of the modern decathlon. And once again, Old Glory tells the story. And field supremacy. Olympian history was made when Kitai-Sum, 21-year-old student born in Korea, but running for Japan, ran the fastest marathon in the history of that classic. On came this 120-pound lad, driving to the very end after 26 miles of a grueling race behind him. And now America wins diving honors, and here are the aquatic stars that did it. That was Dick Degner of the University of Michigan, who was first. Marshall Wayne of Miami, second. And Al Green of Chicago, third. It was 1, 2, 3 for America. And for the 4th time, America shut out the rest of the world. This time it was the women divers who followed the lead of the men and achieved a triple victory. Marjorie Gestring, a blonde, small, and very much tanned 13-year-old schoolgirl from sunny California, took the gold medal. The silver medal went to Catherine Rawls, national champion. And the bronze medal to Mrs. Dorothy Poynton Hill, also of California. And here is the form that won for Uncle Sam. An Olympic record fell as Miss Rita Mastenbok of the Netherlands thrashed through the limpid blue waters of the Olympic pool to win the 100 meters race. The 19-year-old star put on a terrific sprint in the last 10 yards to nose out a very surprised young lady from the Argentine, Miss Janet Campbell. Time 1 minute, 5 9/10 seconds. They're off. The 8-oared rowing race. Come on, you Huskies. Give them all you have. And they did, winning by a scant quarter of a length from Italy. The Washington crew are furthest from the camera. So long, see you in Tokyo in 1940.